The hard ball's gotta have a hard beat. Let's meet where it starts. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the leasing office for the Market Common Myrtle Beach on the corner of Faro Parkway and Phyllis Boulevard. We're focused on the 14th annual American Heart Ball to be held this Saturday at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center Hotel. And we're visiting with Charlie Myrick, the Senior Area Director of the American Heart Association.
Good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
Good to see you again.
How exciting. We're getting close. Are you getting a little nervous?
It's a final stretch. I mean, we're in the final week of our event, and it's coming up this Saturday, and it's going to really be fabulous, more exciting this year, more fabulous auction prizes, a theme for the first time, an evening in the heart of Tuscany, great food, great entertainment by Jumpstart, unbelievable live auction items and silent auction items.
You know, normally for the last 5 years we've been doing weeks leading up to the Heart Ball, obviously focused on the event, and we normally have some tickets left. It's going to be tough to swing it this year, but it's still an opportunity to highlight some of your tremendous sponsors, as well as to thank them. And all week long we've got some great folks, as you know, Ray Spitz, Jonathan Formo, Tom Mullally, and of course Buddy Stiers, who's here with the Market Common.
Yeah, this year we're limiting the number of attendees to 650.
650?
Yeah, wow. And we are very close to that number, but you still have time to call if you want to talk to us about sponsorships.
Right.
Give us a call at 282-2932. We'll be able to talk to you about that still. But we're really down to the wire, so if you really want to get in, you better call today.
You've got a direct phone number just for the Heart Ball this year.
That's correct.
282-2932.
That's correct.
That's tremendous.
That's correct. And we have, of course, our great sponsors, which, of course, Myrtle Beach Herald is our
We know those
sponsor.
guys. Can I show their logo? Can we get that in? Yeah, that's right. They've stepped up, which we're real excited about.
Very happy to have you back again this year. And, of course, Market Commons.
The Market Common Myrtle Beach,
as our platinum sponsors. And then it goes from there. We have a lot of great sponsorships this year, a lot of new ones, a lot of existing ones that came back again from previous years. Of course, McCaffrey Interest, Market Commons, Myrtle Beach Herald, AVX, Castles Engineering, which is a new one, Century 21 Bowling, Conway Medical Center, Fowler Motors, which is a new one for us.
That's right.
Escalade, yep. Grand Strand Regional Medical Center, the Heart Center, Hard Rock Theme Park.
Oh, yeah.
For us
those are big
as well.
New folks,
Jeff Thompson Insurance, nationwide. A Man in the Box Anesthesia.
Oh, yeah.
Next Media, Plantation Federal Bank.
You've got a lot of great sponsors.
Smith Sap, Lookout,
Crumpler, and Callahan, yes.
Waccamaw Cardiology, and TV 13.
WBTW, News Channel 13.
That's just to name a few of them. I mean, we have, over 100.
You go on and on. I think page after page of tremendous sponsors this year, which is wonderful. And of course, again, you got in touch with a lot of these folks many months ago to lead up to this Saturday's event. Yeah,
this really is a year-round campaign that we had to start working on. Actually, I've even started making contacts for our 2009 Heart Ball. Got some neat things coming on that as well. But it takes a whole year to put the sponsors together, to find the presenting sponsors, the locations, the volunteers. It really is putting the package together, coming up with a theme. So it's a lot of work, but it's a very rewarding job.
And of course, this year you started with sponsorships as reasonable as $1,000.
That's correct.
And going, of course, up to $25,000. I mean, so there's opportunities for folks of all budget levels every year to be able to step in and, of course, get some great exposure. One of the big things I think this year is the opportunity to be in a quarterly magazine.
That's correct. For the first time, we're having what's called a Heart Ball publication. It'll come out 4 times this year. The first one will be towards the end of March, and Brandon Advertising is putting that together for us.
Brandon Advertising, great.
And it's going to be professionally done, obviously, and it'll have ads in there, and we'll send that out to over 1,000 companies and individuals that Brandon is helping me target which companies to send that to. And we'll go back to our sponsors, not just 1 time a year, but 4 times a year. Do you want to change your ad? Do you want to leave it the same? Is something new, some new market things coming out for you? So it really is, instead of just buying a sponsorship for a one-time event, you're going to be exposed to over 1,000 people 4 times a year and being associated with the Heart Association and, of course, the signature event, the Heart Ball.
That's tremendous, Charlie. That's the first time this has ever been done in the area. Is that something that they've done in other parts of the country, or is this
They have
totally
not.
novel to Charlie Myrick.
It's just kind of my idea for marketing, the way for me to stay in contact with the sponsors year round, because
Great idea.
this community is so great, and they always step up and help us in our walk and in our horse riding, and of course in our gala. But this way we can stay in contact with them more and show them that we do care about them, and they care about being affiliated with us. So we want to make sure we give them the attention that they deserve, just like they do with us.
And another great way is to be able to give out heart-stopping facts. A lot of facts that folks may or may not know about heart disease and stroke, the number 1 and number 3 killer.
That's correct.
In America and really in the world.
And that's really why I wanted to do the publication, so that they could be affiliated with us, and we could give them information as soon as it comes out. We just reached our 2010 goals ahead of time by reducing cardiovascular disease by 25.6%. So
Is
we're
that
very,
right?
very
Ahead
happy.
of time.
Ahead of time.
Wow.
Yeah, but we have a long ways to go. We still have this obesity problem and this inactivity. So we're spending lots of money on research, a lot right here in South Carolina at MUSC, USC, and of course Clemson.
Sure.
Over $3 million, 22 research grants going on right now. So we still have a lot of work to do to get this number 1 and number 3 killer put to bed.
That's tremendous, Charlie. Yes, and that is a big deal. And South Carolina is one of the states with the higher incidences of heart disease and strokes.
Correct.
Particularly in our area, the PD area, our viewing area in southeastern North Carolina, and Horry and Georgetown County, of which you're the senior area director.
Right. South Carolina is number 2 in the nation as far as having the worst cardiovascular disease and stroke, just behind Mississippi. So
is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a good
That's
fact
not good.
to have.
Then it goes to North Carolina, then it's West Virginia, and then Kentucky.
So a couple of states within the Mid-Atlantic affiliate,
Right.
the 4 states plus the District
Right.
of Columbia.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
We've got to get off this fried food, and we've got to get out walking.
Doing
some exercise.
Charlie, you sound like a aerobics instructor.
Well,
yeah,
you know.
Mary Jo Rogers, our
right.
friends, our fitness columnist for the Myrtle Beach Herald, is constantly promoting just get out and move.
That's right. Just walk. It's not hard to exercise. Just get out and walk and clear your mind and just relax and have a good time and walk with your family, your dog, every day. Just get out and walk.
Obesity has been a big issue. Speaking of family, you've got family here in the area?
I
Charlie?
do. Yes, my wife's here and 2 children.
Great.
And we're very happy to be here. And
are they going to be out at the Heart Ball?
oh, my wife will be there working.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
but,
working. Yeah,
working.
volunteering.
Volunteering. Yes.
Right, and it's not really a kids event, is it? You don't often see children. Maybe
No.
some. I have seen some in the past, but who will escort a mother or father.
True. Yes. More or less, 21 and above as our audience.
Sure,
Definitely.
sure.
Well, let's talk a minute about some of our auction items.
Oh, Charlie,
going
yeah,
on.
I'd like for you to lead this. Take us there,
We've got
please.
some
Yeah.
great auction items. We have Sea-Doo from Redline Sports.
Redline Power Sports.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Jonathan Foreman will be with us tomorrow.
Yes.
The owner of Redline Power Sports.
So that's a big one for our live auction. We have a trip for a week to East Manhattan with airfare.
Oh, Harry Pavlak and I
Yes,
talked about
that.
that last Wednesday night. He's very excited. He thinks that's going to drum up some big bids.
I think it definitely will. And of course, we have again our barbecue with Teddy Henry for 100.
Teddy Henry
Yeah.
stepping up to the plate again. That's tremendous. He's done that year after year.
Yes.
That thing brings in normally 25 to 3,000, even
Yes.
more than that.
More
Last
than
year the
that.
bidding was fierce.
Yeah, I think around 3,100 last year.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So a lot of folks, of course, are driven by the idea. They know they could get it. They
Right.
could buy that directly by calling in Teddy and Margaret for something like that. But at the same time, the opportunity to make that as an entire donation.
That's
to the
correct.
American Heart Association, and Teddy and Margaret donate that entirely.
They do.
They don't. They donate everything for
Everything. That's correct.
That's a big fundraiser.
We also have the 6-course menu item for 8 from the Tom. Who's gonna,
A difference in dining. He'll be
That's
with
right.
us this Friday.
That's
Yeah, I
right.
hope folks will tune in to hear Tom Mullally.
And we have a very unique one from Aspen Grill, which is the wild game.
Tell us about that.
For 6. Well, it's for 6 for the chef's choice for wild game at Aspen Grill. That's going to be in a live auction also. It's the first time for us having that in a live auction, so we're excited about that. So
Good, yeah.
It's kind of very interesting for what type of wild game.
Folks who
they're gonna
like
have.
wild game.
Yeah,
that's right. I know some folks will be bidding on that item. Jay Bolts and others.
And you can also bid on some items that we have at, of course, Fowler Motors with the Escalades in their showroom. We're taking bids on those items as well. Also
The proceeds to be donated by Fowler
Correct.
Motors.
That's
Yes,
correct.
yes.
So you can go in and bid on that. The bidding ends on the Sea-Doo and the Escalade February the 20th.
This Wednesday,
that's
okay,
right.
great.
You can come to the, of course, the Hardball and bid on them, but as far as calling in the bids, that's something new we did for the first time, kind of a, if you want to bid on it or buy it now,
Or
you can call our number at 282-2932.
Hopefully when Jonathan's with us tomorrow, he will be able to drive some traffic to his place either tomorrow or Wednesday, or even you talking about it today to go out there. So Wednesday will be the last day to bid.
Right, that's correct.
Out at Redline Power Sports or at Fowler Motors.
That's correct.
Okay,
That's correct.
Tremendous.
And there's some other items that I just mentioned you can also call in and put in an early bid if you'd like. But there again, it stops on Wednesday, so just 2 days from now. So we don't have much time. So
No.
time is running out.
Get out there. Again, if a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, Charlie, the best number for someone to call.
Okay, 282-2932. That's our direct Hardball line.
Okay, 282-2932. And of course, a lot of viewers from the PD or southeastern North Carolina can come in. You've also got tremendous rates at the Sheraton, the Myrtle Beach Convention Center Hotel.
That's right. For the first time and only for this event, you can call in. If you're coming to the ball, you can stay that night for $89.
Right.
Which is a very reduced rate. And of course, if you're going to go to the Hardball and you're having fun, you definitely want to go ahead and stay tonight and continue on the celebration.
The number for the Sheraton, 843-918-5000.
That's
and
correct.
just say Hardball rate.
Say
And keep pushing through, and to make sure if someone says they're sold out, to go ahead and ask for the hotel.
Right.
I tried to get some rooms last week for some guests, and they said they were sold out. So we figured out that if you call straight to the hotel, they can slip you in, which we did.
Instead of calling like the 1-800
Right,
Sheraton
exactly,
line.
the Sheraton number. Yeah. So hopefully 843-918-5000. Just say, I want to talk to somebody locally, and I want to make sure they know we're coming in for the Hardball. $89 is a great rate at a hotel like that,
especially on Saturday night.
With golfing season, the weekend right after Valentine's. So 10 days after Valentine's. Yeah.
That's correct.
A lot going on. Let's get into a few more of those auction items. Of course, we want to focus on the menu. A lot of folks really are excited about the menu.
Yes, we have the Tuscany theme, of course, for the menu, and the chef is going to prepare some things very special. We'll have hors d'oeuvres, of course, in the beginning where the silent auction is going on, and then we'll open the walls up into the dining room around 7:30 to 8 o'clock.
Right.
You can venture in. We're going to have the rosemary garlic marinated filet with Chianti reduction, grilled salmon with shiitake mushrooms and fresh basil, rosemary roasted red potatoes, asparagus with olive oil and roasted red pepper.
Very nice. I got to tell you, Charlie, it sounds good coming out of your mouth, but it sounded a lot better coming out of Glenda McIntyre's mouth last Tuesday. She throws some accents in there that I'm not familiar with all her time in Rome.
Oh, well, that's very true. But, of course, we'll have the salad and then the entree, and then, of course, the dessert and appetizers, and a lot of some Italian wines on the table. We'll have 2 whites and 2 reds.
Is that right?
Yes.
On all the tables?
On all the tables, that's
all
correct.
65 tables,
That's
I believe
correct.
you said you've limited to 650 people.
That's correct, all 65 tables.
That's tremendous.
And so there will be some good wines there donated by Leaf Wines.
Great, good. They have really stepped up to the plate again.
They have.
Year after year, just really coming out strong.
And even for the first time, we're going to have a thank you reception to our sponsors after the event.
Really?
Yeah, on March 20th, and that's where Leaf
Wines
will also bring in their owner, Jean-Pierre, who's a Frenchman, a true Frenchman, and he will explain the Italian wines and why Tuscany is such an important region, obviously. And we'll do some more wine tasting there with the Italian wines.
Another great benefit for sponsors, Charlie. This is something that, not to take anything away from our past events, which have all been very successful and humongous turnouts, and but shrinking the size by 300 to 350 people, and having the quarterly publication that have an opportunity for some sponsors who are really stepping up to the plate to get their name out, as well as be associated with fighting heart disease and stroke, as well as this thank you reception. That's wonderful.
Well, it's our way of us giving back to them. Of course, Leaf has donated the wine, but it's a way for us to say thank you to them as well. And we're looking forward to doing that. And, of course, you'll be invited to that.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, the Herald, we're very excited about. That's exactly right. A good reason. And folks can still get sponsorships. You know, people say, why would I want to sponsor this close to the event? What's the benefit for me to sponsor? If I picked up the phone right now, 282-2932, or if I told my boss or told somebody who works for me, you know, call the Heart Association. But why should they call?
Well, if someone called right now to sponsor, they may miss out getting their logo on the actual ticket or,
Right.
or the reservation because we've already printed those.
Right.
But with the Hardball publication that Brandon is doing for us,
Right.
they can still get their advertising in there 4 times a year to over
Great.
1,000 companies and individuals. So if they've got a advertising budget, which most companies do,
Right.
that'd be a great way to be affiliated with the Heart Association, the Hardball. They still can get into the Hardball publication.
Great.
They would still get to come to the thank you reception, and they get to come to the Hardball. So,
The event itself,
yeah, the
if the
event
tickets,
itself.
if they call today, they better
Yeah.
they better call now
Yeah.
though.
So all you're really missing is one little logo on the
Right.
on the invitation. But of course, we'll still thank them at the Hardball, and their
Yeah.
logo will be at the Hardball.
Another big deal is being able to get excited and get ready for next year's event.
Right.
As you highlighted, the 2009 event is not far away either. And
Right.
the opportunity to get involved and step it up to support that.
Yeah, that's why I said it's a year-round campaign that we work on, and I do have some plans already set in for some new things for next year. Can't quite say it yet.
Right,
It's still,
right.
still in the works, but
Yes.
we're getting closer with that. And of course, we want to invite the Myrtle Beach Herald back again next year. As one of
Hopefully
our
we can
sponsors.
get the Market Common, Myrtle Beach, even though they're having their big grand opening this April. Hopefully they can be involved year after year. The Hard Rock theme park, the big
That's
park
right.
over the waterway over there
That's
on
correct.
Bishop Parkway. Hopefully they'll step back in, as well as a lot of other tremendous sponsors that you have in here for the first time at
Right.
the levels they're sponsoring.
Yeah, we were very proud to get the Market
Look at
Common.
this place,
you know,
yeah.
To get involved with this. It's really going to be a fabulous place for all of us to come shop and dine, and we're very happy whenever they agree to be on with the platinum sponsor with us,
Right.
being affiliated with us and us them as well.
Yeah, excuse me, not to cut you off, Charlie. They've got here in the leasing office a tremendous model. If folks come by, if they're coming in from the back gate of the former Air Force Base, just follow Faro down and take a left on Phyllis, and then pop right in here to check it out. If they're coming in from the front gate, to follow Faro and then take a right on Phyllis, just come on in here to check out the tremendous model and the layout of what is to come.
And it really is a buzz around here. It's
Right.
a lot of action going on here with all the construction, and everyone's really upbeat and excited to see about the Market Commons coming,
Right.
opening up on April the 3rd. So
Yeah.
I know I'll be here. So
Yeah,
I'm
Thursday, April
Yeah,
3. That's
yeah.
exactly right. And marketcommonmb.com, I think,
right.
is their tremendous website. Trying to prepare for Buddy's interview later in the week on Thursday. I saw they've got an amazing press kit. Really got a lot involved there, highlighting both some local businesses that are stepping in, as well as national and international businesses that are coming in. Some of the pictures behind you there, they're really getting involved.
Yeah, they really are, and they want to be involved with the community, just
Right.
like most of our sponsors do. And
Yes.
and they have several tables, of course, at the Heart Ball, and they've got their attendees come in, and
Right.
it's going to be great for them to see our Heart Ball for the first time.
Break down the next 5 days for you, Charlie. What do you do now as we're getting so close? We got 120 some hours to get ready for the big night. What are you going to be doing this week? Are you out picking up auction items, for instance? Are you making sure the tables are set up properly, making sure the Sheridan interfacing with everyone, everything's going well? What's your week going to be like?
Yeah, yes, and yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much my days right now are 14-hour days. We're making sure that we have all the sponsors, all their ads they have to be in,
Right.
that we have all the screens set up for the night of the event with all of our sponsors in there. We're setting up the tables as far as making sure that they get the tables that they want to sit at.
Right.
Getting the names and addresses of their attendees, so it makes it flow very easy tonight whenever they come in for registration.
Oh, yeah.
Making sure the food is the food we said we're going to have.
Right.
We've tasted the food. The food is
I heard that
awesome.
from Glenda
Yeah,
last
yeah.
week when we were out at Reflections. Yes.
It's very good. So make sure all that's coming in, everything's fine there. Make sure we have the auction items. Make sure we have all the documentation for the different types of dinners
Right.
and vacation packages, so that we can give them to the people whenever they purchase them that night. Go ahead
Right.
and give them to them that night. Making sure that everyone who's got a room for that night has got a room.
Yeah, it's taken care of. Yeah.
Answer just general questions. We see how people call and asking, is it a black tie? Yes, it's definitely black tie, very formal.
Yeah.
So just those types of questions, making sure our computer systems are going to work well
Right.
that night, training the volunteers to make sure registration goes smooth,
Right.
train the volunteers to make sure that checkout goes smooth.
Right.
Any questions? Try to make everything just run as smooth as possible and everyone have a fabulous time.
I love
and,
it.
So that's kind of my days for the rest of this week.
Break down the evening itself, Charlie. We got about 5 minutes,
Okay.
and I know there are folks coming in from all over the Carolinas, coming in from Georgia. I think I saw that the president and CEO of the Mid-Atlantic affiliate, David
Yes,
Markowitz himself, is coming down from Chapel
coming.
Hill
He's coming.
for the event. I know a lot of folks coming down from the Triangle as well as from all over. So it's
Right.
going to be a big event even from Columbia. But the evening itself, for folks who've never attended, for some of your sponsors, some of the folks here from the Market Common or Hard Rock Park, what are they going to see if they show up there at 6:30, and a little bit about the setting there?
Okay. As soon as you get to the Myrtle Beach Convention Center, the Sheraton, the event starts at 6:30. And, of course, you'll come in and register. You'll come in, and we'll make sure you're on our list, which obviously you will be on our list.
Right.
Then you grab you a drink if you'd like, and then going into the silent auction room, start looking at the auction items.
Right.
For the first time, we're going to have an Italian opera singer there singing Italian love
Oh,
songs.
my Lord, an Italian opera singer,
you'll get to hear that played by a beautiful piano. So you'll see and hear him.
Right.
Along with the pianist, and then of course you can bid on the auction items, mingle with your friends and family, just see all the wonderful things that we have. Then we'll open the doors up to the dining room around 7:30, jump start a place, a little bit of dinner music to get people kind of warmed up,
Right.
get them into the dining room. Then of course the salad will be delivered to your plate, and then we'll start eating our meals with some music
Right.
going. Live auction will start with the fabulous items that I mentioned.
Yeah.
You can still go back into the silent auction area and bid on those items up until around 10 o'clock. We'll start closing those down around 9:30, 10 o'clock. Music will start full force between 9 and 9:30 with the Jumpstart Band, lots of dining, dancing, having a good time, meeting with your friends and family. And just continue having the party and celebrating the successes of the event.
Right.
And the money being raised going to the Heart Association to cure this #1 and #3 killer.
And it's not all a big party, though, Charlie. I mean, there are some serious things in the evening reflecting on heart disease and stroke, folks that have been impacted by heart disease and stroke. For viewers who may not be able to attend this Saturday, either the video presentation around, I think you talked about around the auction items or otherwise, give viewers a sense of what's going to happen this Saturday.
We do have 3 great volunteers who are giving their testimony about why it's so important to support the Heart Association, make donations to the association, and also come to our events. But if you can't come to the event and want to still help, please do so. Every dollar is needed and used.
Okay.
But they're giving their testimony and explaining why it's so important. And we're going to have them there that night as well. But it'll be on video in a silent auction room so you can see their testimonies. And it is a little bit emotional because it hits home to all of us, more or less. But it's going to really be good for everyone to hear how the dollars are really impacting locally, state, and nationally.
Absolutely. AmericanHeart.org is a good website for viewers who may want to go online and learn more about the fight against heart disease and stroke, about the 10-year push, which the Heart Association has reached and beaten early in 2008, you said.
Well, think about it. We beat the cardiovascular disease by over 25%. That's over 160,000 lives saved. That's 160,000 people who got to enjoy the holidays, who get to enjoy birthdays, going out with their family, going to the beach, going to the Heart Ball, coming to the Market Commons for the grand opening. It's not just a number. It's 160,000 people that are alive because the research dollars made the difference to reduce that disease by 25%.
Sounds like it sums it up for you, Charlie. Is that the underlying push for you? It is recognizing that it's not just a number. It's people that are really impacted and lives that are saved thanks to your work and many other volunteers and folks who work for the American Heart Association.
That's exactly right. I mean, that's what we're here for, is we're here to save those lives. And it really hits home with me. Yes, I see the numbers, but when you really hear people come up and tell you, thank you for what you do, because I wouldn't be here today if you didn't push so hard to get people to help fund the research, makes me feel very, very fortunate to be able to do that.
Yeah, very definitely. And there are so many great causes to wrap around and so many things you could be involved in. But when you see the impact that a stroke has had on a loved one or on a family's life, and how clearly they have to wrap around and support that person as long as they're here.
Yeah, and let me say, it's not just a man's disease anymore. It's more of a woman's disease than it is a man's disease.
Is that right?
That's
More
right.
women are impacted by heart disease and stroke than even men.
That's right. 51% of women versus 49% of men are affected by heart disease now. And that's why we have such a big push now on our Go Red for Women campaign. It just came out February the 1st. But if you need to go to the doctor, make sure you know what your blood pressure levels are, your cholesterol levels. Watch your weight, exercise. If you're dealing with stress, make sure you find ways to deal with your stress. Read a book, go out and walk, pet your dog, whatever works for you to
Right.
relieve your stress. Make sure you do that.
That's a great word. Those are great words, Charlie. All this week we've got men, volunteers, supporters of the American Heart Association, but I'm glad you highlighted that it is clearly an issue that impacts a heck of a lot of women.
It does, definitely.
That's great. Thanks so much for being with us
Thank
this
you very
morning.
much.
Good luck
Appreciate it.
this Saturday night.
Okay, we'll see you there.
Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Charlie Myrick, the Senior Area Director of the Waccamaw Division of the American Heart Association. Coming up next. You know, Charlie talking about national figures, 160,000 folks here, thanks to the efforts of the American Heart Association. That's nationally, and he drove home the point of why it is not just a number. Those are real people. Wasn't it great hearing him share those facts and the figures and the aspects that wrap around that? But think about it. Let's talk about just South Carolina. In 2004, 12,950 South Carolinians died from some form of cardiovascular disease. 12,957 in South Carolina alone in year 2004, which equates to 63 people per day. Think about that. The number one and number three killer in South Carolina, the number one and number three killer in the Carolinas, the number one and number three killer in America. There's a reason sponsors have stepped up to the plate. There's a reason tickets are being sold. There's a reason that auction donors donate items to get out there. It's to fight heart disease and stroke so that their loved one may be impacted in a positive way. Pick up the phone, 843-282-2932. It's coming up soon. There's only a handful of tickets left, but if you pick up the phone today, you may be able to be a part of making a difference to fight heart disease and stroke. Charlie Myrick.